Next is a catalytic property of D block elements. Maximum, most of the D block elements are used as a catalyst in manufacturing process because the transition metals has energetically available d orbitals. That available d orbitals can accept the electron from reactant. It makes a new bond and the d block element makes the reactant active, and finally it's give product. After getting the product, the removal of d block elements from the product is very easy. Because of this reason only, in most of the manufacturing process, d block elements are used as a catalyst. For example, scandium. Scandium atomic number is 21, electronic configuration 3d1. This is a structure of 3d1 electronic configuration. Here, how many available orbitals are present? 4 available orbitals are present. With the use of this available energetical orbital, this d block elements can accept the electron from the reactant molecule and makes the new bond. And finally it gives the product. After getting the product, the removal of d block element from the product is very easy. That is the reason d block elements are used as a catalyst. Already we know what is the meaning of catalyst. Catalyst is a substance that can alter the reaction but they never participate in the reaction. Some examples of catalytic properties of d block elements is given in your book. First one, conversion of alkene into alkane. Alkene, ENE means that organic compound possesses double bond. ANE means that has single bond. To remove the one bond, we have to add hydrogen. The addition of hydrogen is known as reduction. That reduction is happen in the presence of nickel. Nickel is the d block elements. So that addition of hydrogen is taking place. How to add the hydrogen here? In double bond, the left side of the double bond one hydrogen is going to add, and the right side of the double bond one hydrogen is going to add. So this CH2 is going to convert as a CH3 single bond CH3. This equation already you studied in 11th standard as Sabatier equation. Like that, they were given 3 more examples also. First one, hydroformation of olefins, then preparation of acetic acid from acetaldehyde, then Ziegler-Natta catalyst. In this Ziegler-Natta catalyst is a very important 2 mark they were asked. Ziegler-Natta catalyst chemical formula, like that they can ask. Otherwise, what is Ziegler-Natta catalyst? Your answer is a mixture of titanium chloride and trialkyl aluminium is Ziegler-Natta catalyst. Otherwise, they can ask you question, which catalyst is used in polymerization? That polymerization catalyst is Ziegler-Natta catalyst. So this name also very important. At the same time, this chemical formula also important. Next property is alloy formation. Alloy means mixture of 2 or more metals. Mixture of 2 or more metals. Alloy is a mixture of 2 or more metals. In this mixture, which metal present in high amount? That is known as solvent. That is known as solvent. In this mixture, which metal present in less amount? That is known as solute. So alloy is a mixture of 2 or more metals. In this mixture, which metal present in high amount? That is known as solvent. which is present in low amount, that is known as solute. This mixture can metal with non-metal, otherwise two also non-metal, otherwise both. This alloy formation in D block element follow the Hume-Rothery rule. This is a very important 2 mark Hume-Rothery rule. What is this rule? This rule states that the difference between the atomic radii of solvent and solute is less than 15%. So atomic radii difference in solvent and solute is less than 15%. And both solvent and solute must have same crystal structure. Both solvent and solute has same crystal structure. Then third one is valence structure, and then valence and electron negativity difference must be close to 0. So in Hume-Rothery rule, what are these 3 steps? First one, the difference between the atomic radii of solvent and solute is less than 15%. Second one, both solvent and solute must have the same crystal structure and valence. Third one, their electron negativity difference must be close to 0. This is a Hume-Rothery rule. Next is formation of interstitial compound. Interstitial compound means that interstitial position. In solid state lesson we learned. In metal, the atoms in metals are arranged like that. It has some gap. This gap is known as interstitial position. This gap can occupy by D block elements. This gap can occupy by D block elements. By occupying these gaps, D block elements can form the interstitial compounds. Their properties are, they are hard and show electrical and land thermal conductivity. They have high melting points, higher than those of pure metals. Transition metal hydrides are used as powerful reducing agent. Metallic carbides are chemically inert. Next is the complex formation. Transition elements has unpaired electrons. With the D block elements have more number of unpaired electrons, and it has an ability to donate an electron pair. So it can form a complex with another elements. Let us recall today's class. In today's class, we learned magnetic property, catalytic property, alloy formation, interstitial compound formation, and then complex formation. Under the magnetic property, we learn metals can classified as paramagnetic, diamagnetic, and ferro or antiferro magnetic. In catalytic formation, we learn some equations. Then alloy also Hume-Rothery rule we learned. Thank you, students.